Rancho?
I've heard a lot about you.
Well, me, Nancy, Mel is on our board also. Nancy's on our board.
Congratulations.
Preserve the land as it is, lots of open space, agricultural fields, lots of woods, marshland. And this event was very nice that Dick put together, and to recognize the landowners and to also show us the record in which the information will be preserved forever, which is very important.
Teaching school. Then I started driving the bus for my grandfather, Monroe Lake, who at once owned the farm. I taught school for 29 years, and then I started driving the bus. I have been driving the bus for 65 years, and I'm 82 years old. The land borders, it's Good Luck Farm. It borders the Nanticoke, Blackwater, and it runs out into the Chesapeake Bay. It was owned by my grandfather, Monroe Lake Sr. I'm very proud to be a part of this organization and reserve the land.
gentlemen, my name is Ed Riley. I'm one of your state senators. Tonight I am acting as the Master of Ceremonies, and I have to share with you it's a great evening to be here. We have several very important speakers, and I have to share with you it's going to be a great joy for me to introduce one of my good friends, Kinsey Potter.
Good evening. Okay, so I'm Kinsey Potter, and I want to welcome you on behalf of the String of Pearls Board, of which I am very proudly a member, I might say. And we really appreciate you coming out to honor landowners, the land trust, and to install this wonderful display case for the Registry of Pearls, which will be here in the atrium, displayed for everyone to see. Now, you will notice that you have some of you have different colors on your name tags. So the people who have tan rims on their name tag are the landowners of the pearls, and I would love for each of you to thank them for being landowners who put their land in conservation, and I would appreciate it if they would raise their hands so everybody can see them. Now, those who have green on their name tags are representatives of the Land Trust. And the Land Trust are what makes all of this possible, because they're the ones who encourage landowners, walk them through the process, and then take care of the land after it goes into conservation. So I would appreciate it if the Land Trust representatives would raise their hands. Great. Okay, so the blue name tags, like the one I have on, we are board members and volunteers at String of Pearls, and just for recognition's sake, we might as well raise our hands. Okay, we have some people to thank. I'm going to start by kind of going backwards. All of you have seen this lovely picture on the front of our program, and this was done by Nancy Tankersley, and it is one of the pearls. And I think, I'm not quite sure who came up with the idea of doing these paintings and then selling them, but it was a brilliant idea. Dick, if it was yours, that's really wonderful. Okay, and we also want to thank, over here, you see this wonderful, beautiful map, which was done by the NASA Landsat team, and for the specific purpose of honoring the String of Pearls. So it is beautiful, and it certainly is wonderful to have it gracing our beautiful display case. Judy and Roy Crow are over there in the back, and they have been kind enough to donate wine. They are not only owners of Pearls, but they have a winery, and they have donated wine for us this evening. Thank you. And lastly, these are beautiful name tags, and that is thanks to Leanne Clark, who did the calligraphy for us. So we have a lot of people that are helping us out on this. And now, I'll turn it back over to the Master of Ceremonies.
As always, when we gather in a public place like this, we like to recognize folks who are elected or appointed officials. We have our county councilman, Chris Trumbauer. Where are you, Chris? Representing County Executive Steve Shue, we have Rick Anthony from Parks and Recreation. Kinsey, did you acknowledge the Woodworking Guild? I was going to do that because, you know, most of us have in common one person with a great drive and vision and energy, Dick Wallen. Dick encouraged me to become the part of the process 5 or 6 years ago. And the first pearl that we found was in Anne Arundel County in my district, I believe in Davidsonville, that area down there. And over the years, we've been trying to find an appropriate place to display the book, which we will talk about, which our clerk of the court will talk about in a minute, and to recognize the folks who have dedicated their land to keep it in natural state. And we're trying to figure out what we're going to do and where we're going to display it, and Dick came upon the Annapolis Woodworking Guild. And I have to tell you, this beautiful piece of furniture, if we went out and bought it, would have probably been $15,000 to $20,000. They donated the wood, they donated the workmanship, and I have to ask, is there anybody here from the Annapolis Woodworking Guild? Well, then just let them know when you see them how much we appreciate it. And of course, Leanne Clark is our mistress of calligraphy. She did all the name tags. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, I have to tell you that another person was quick to join Dick's cause for the String of Pearls. It's a little Crofton-centric, but that's okay. But he reached out to the clerk of the court, Bob Duckworth. And Bob and I have been going around the state recognizing and thanking landowners for their concern for our state, for our environment, for our nation. And it's been a great joy to meet many of you as we went to all those events. So it's, again, my great honor to introduce a neighbor and a good friend and your clerk of the court, Bob Duckworth.
Thank you, Senator. Senator and Dick Lawn, our Director of String of Pearls, Congressman Wayne Gilchrist, all the landowners and the trust who are here tonight. I want to welcome you to our courthouse. What better setting than this courthouse for this marvelous and beautiful cabinet that gives great respect to those who have put their land into conservation easements to protect the land and to protect the Chesapeake Bay. Just a bit about this courthouse. There's, as you can see, a bit of old and a bit of new. Not me, at the courthouse. We have our, and I have to always show it off, because it's almost as old as the land, the developed land of Anne Arundel County. We have over here the historic part of the courthouse, which was built in 1824. We worked with Historic Annapolis to make the 1824 building seamless with the 2004 building over here. As you can see in the brickwork that goes around the walls here, you get a little bit of the old 1824, some 1891 brick, all the way around to 1990, 2000 brick. We took all these materials, and we took the old look of the courthouse and new modern architecture, cantilevered it, and built a courthouse. It's about 175,000 square feet. And it's beautiful. And we have, they come through these doors for many, many reasons. About 1,000 people, maybe 2,000 people a day. So we have a lot of people that come through here. And so I say, what a wonderful place to display this cabinet. Because what we're here about tonight is honoring you, the landowners, and the trust for all you are doing to protect the Chesapeake Bay for your land conservation easements that you have donated. It's really, it's hard to be part of. I'm so humbled about this. I think of all the work of all the people, what they've done over the last 50 years to save the Bay, and the conservation easements that have taken place during that time. The Maryland Environmental Trust, over 1,080 landowners are involved in their program. Thousands and thousands, 144,000 acres, almost 1% of Maryland has been put into some kind of conservation easement. And now we get the opportunity with the String of Pearls board to complement that and recognize those who are in our area around the Chesapeake Bay who have done so much for this public good. And that's why I say I'm humble, I'm honored. You know, a long time ago, I was a kid in Cecil County. My dad used to take me out to the Chesapeake Bay, Little Elk River, in that area. And I ran barefoot through those waters. I fished at that time with my dad. in the Chesapeake Bay when it was a pearl. And now we're bringing it back through the pearls in this program. And I'm part of it. Who would dream? I would not have dreamed as a kid that I would be here today doing something like this. This is a wonderful cause. You are to be congratulated and celebrated for what you are doing to make our country, our state, and this area around the Chesapeake Bay a better place to live, a better place for nature, and a better place for we as human beings who have to live on this spot of earth. So, with that, I do want to talk one last minute about registry. This book contains already the 59 property owners who have donated conservation easements around the Chesapeake Bay. This concept, by the way, Dick Warren and I discussed a long time ago, will connect all the properties and corridors between the properties around the Chesapeake Bay like a string of pearls. And that's what the idea is. And so we want to encourage you to get more pearls on this string. I mean, that's so important. We want this string of pearls to be not just one string, but many strings. Not just 59 pearls, but 5,000 pearls. We need to protect the Chesapeake Bay. And this is one way to do it, working with the trust that are involved in this business to help us. So, again, it's my privilege and pleasure to tell you about this registry. We have gone all around, as Senator Riley has said, all around the Chesapeake Bay, Eastern Shore, here as far as Atlantis to Prince George's County, and we have these 59 trusts in here. And so I just want to say that this book will be under my care. I'm the custodian of the records here in Anne Arundel County, all public records. So what is a better befitting way to preserve this book that recognizes your legacy as landowners and trust in protecting the waters of the Chesapeake Bay than to have it in this book under the watchful eye of the custodian here at the court, me, the clerk of the court, Robert Huffman. And that's what this is all about. I'm honored to do this. I hope this will stay here in perpetuity. I hope the people that walk through this courthouse will stop and look at this beautiful cabinet and look at this registry, because that's what it's all about. It's all about education. It's all about commitment. It's all about legacy. It's all about our human environment and our natural environment working together. Thank you very much, and with that, we have with us Ellen Lloyd. At this time, I want to introduce you to Congressman Wayne Gilchrist, whose heart is with the Chesapeake Bay, whose heart is with the environment, and who's done a wonderful job in the past as Congressman, and is going to say a few words on the importance of the string of pearls and what we're doing here today, and to recognize the landowners and the trustees.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank Ed for bringing us all together. Bob Duckworth for running with me for Congress in 1992. He took the better prize at that time, I think. And Dick Lawn and all of you who have come together to bring this beautiful concept of the string of pearls. And you've really put something that's positive on the landscape that will last as long as the grass grows, to use an old Indian phrase. This will last as long as anything can last. The land is here. It is what has provided us with nurturing and life. And a pearl, what a beautiful thing, a pearl. A pearl is what I think of as integrating the integrity of the infinite variables of the patterns of nature's design. And it's just one of those things that we can see and sense. Every day we see the dawn. Every day we see the sunset. It's the integrating nature's patterns through its design. And what you are doing with your pearl is leaving that lasting legacy of the patterns that make up nature's design, which in effect is the renewal and the restoration of life. So your pearl, your land is our legacy. And we come here with graciousness and heartfelt thanks for your gift to all of us and for future generations, for as long as the grass grows, the wind blows, and the Chesapeake spawns rockfish.
All right, we're about to wrap up the formal part of the presentation, but one of the most important things today is for you to get to know each other. We've come together from different parts of the state. So when you see somebody with a special tag or a land trust person, we want to make sure you reach out and thank them for their efforts on behalf of the String of Pearls. After our toast, we're then going to take pictures, first with the landowners, Congressman Gilchrist and Clerk of the Court Duckworth, and of course Dick Long. And then we'll take a picture with all the land trust folks. But before we do that, we have a toast. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you don't have a glass, raise your hand. And let us thank, with eternal gratitude, the landowners, the property owners, the families who have given their land back to nature for in perpetuity. And we want to say congratulations and thank you. Now, even though you think the land trust is made up of paid professionals, we all know that the land trust is full of volunteers and dedicated bureaucrats who work very hard to protect land. And we would be remiss without taking a moment to thank all those who are involved with the land trust programs for their efforts and to continue and to send them off with a great deal of goodwill and hope for success as they do their work. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll raise our glasses again for the fine people from the Land Trust. Thank you very much. And that ends our formal presentation, but before we go and do the photograph of the landowners, I'll be calling you up at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't leave without thanking Dick Moore.
Hi, my name is Mike Taylor, contractor of SSAI. I work at NASA Goddard, and I created the imagery that you see in the display case over there on the Chesapeake Bay watershed. I feel like I'm contributing to something wonderful. This is a great event, and thank you again to Crow Vineyards, who donated this delicious wine.
My name's Nat Fergazzi. I work with SSAI in support of NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, and I'm pleased to have contributed to the development of the Landsat satellites that were responsible for creating the images through Mike Taylor and his team